Here. What does that smell? It smells good. It's a rock burning or incense, sir?
Yeah, it's the incense.
Turn off those phones.
Testing. Okay. All right, I'll be starting now. Stop. All right, Shalom Yahbashim Yahshai Barakathum to the brothers. Shalom Yahshai Yahbashim Yahshai to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We've been teaching the truth since 1969 that all so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, today, we're going to be going over a touchy topic. It's kind of sad that it's a touchy topic because it really shouldn't even be one, and that is the agenda behind the LGBTQ community. And now a new thing that's been on the uprise is called the trans age activists, and how they've always been a part of that community. But I'll talk about how this is coming about and how this is like times old. In ancient Rome and Greece, this was also a thing, homosexuality, same-sex marriages, stuff like that. So we'll be covering quite a bit today. So with that being said, so this is your first time coming to cyber service?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
In a while.
Okay, so I'll just show you how everything's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Almighty, which means to stand, but just me. So I'm going to stand up. La Yasharala, which means to Israel in Hebrew. Hope I didn't wake her up. Okay, so now I'm going to say Amadim upon Yahakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. So now everybody stand. Everybody just face the east. So now I'm going to do the prayers. So now when I do the prayers, I'm going to read them in the Hebrew first. You just repeat it as best as you can. And then I'm also going to go over it in the English. So now first we're going to start off with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. So just repeat after me after each time. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kodash, Aya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwavka, Taba'a, Ratzaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Latan Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Banasaiwan, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Doka, Hamalakwa, Baha'ala, Badapara, Lawalumyam, Aman. Now I'm going to say it in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Now I'm going to go over Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Baba Kasha,
Barakasha,
Lathan Lanawa,
Lathaminawa,
Hakak,
Hakah,
Hakak,
Hakah,
Larapa'ah,
Baraha,
Call,
Ka,
Makala,
Akala,
Wakal,
Ukaka,
Madawa,
Manawa,
Hakak,
Hakah,
Latahar,
Latahar,
Ha,
Ha,
Matazorayim,
Masusarayim,
Hakak,
Hakah,
Lahaquayim,
Lahaquayim,
Hamathim,
Hamathim,
Hakak,
Hakah,
Ayel,
Ala,
Rakawath,
Akawa,
Atam Allah,
Atal,
Agarashon,
Ushram,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
for water,
Bawar,
Aman.
Aman,
Now in the English, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushai,
in the name of Yahushua,
please
please
give us the power,
give us the
the
power,
power to heal
power to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out
to cast them out,
in the name of Yahushai.
in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be
So be it.
it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Wa Mayaka Allah,
Wa'alamayakala,
Wa Alahayim,
Wa'alayim,
Matazab Yah,
Wa'alayim,
Alawap Yahana,
Wa'alayim,
Ha Alawapim,
Wa'alayim,
Ha Saranyim,
Wa'alayim,
Ha Quantizayoyin,
Wa'alayim,
Ha Kayayoyin,
Wa'alayim,
Wa Ha Akwathian, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
for water,
Bawar,
Aman.
Aman.
Now in the English, bless you Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahushai,
and Yahushua,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding General Yohanan,
commanding Yahweh,
the generals,
generals,
the captains,
captains,
the officers,
officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushai,
in the name of Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya,
Amen.
All,
All,
Haharim,
Ari,
Mayan, Yaba'ah, Izoya, Izoya,
Azori,
Ma'aim,
Am,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Asha,
Shemayim,
Shemai,
Wa'arataza,
Rakatata,
All Yathun,
Ayutham,
Lamawat,
Amawatch,
Regalka,
Lapor,
All Yanawam,
Anyuwan,
Shemarka,
Shemar,
Hana,
Wana,
La'ah,
La,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala,
Yayashun,
Yashan,
Shawamar,
Sharmar,
Yasharala,
Yashua,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shemarka,
Shemar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Cesar,
Al Yad,
Yahweh,
Yanyanka,
Yahweh,
Yawamam,
Yahweh,
Hashamash,
Ashamash,
La'ah,
La,
Yakaka,
Yahweh,
Wairat,
Ra,
Belialah,
Ra,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashmar,
Makar, Rai,
Ra,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Athanapashka,
Afamash,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Kazaafka, Wabuafka, Maida,
Micah,
Wa'ai, Awalam.
Allah.
Now Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall not slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Elohim,
all,
all,
Damayalaka,
Amiyalaka,
all,
all,
Thakarash,
Lakarash,
Wa'al,
all,
Thashakwat,
Ashqat,
all,
all,
Kayahana,
Kayana,
Awayabyaka,
Ayyamuka,
Yahama,
Yama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Yash,
Io,
Al,
Amaka,
Awaka,
Ya'amwa,
Awawa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Waida,
Ayata,
Yatazawa, Io, Tazapawanyaka, Amorwa, Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakinum, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum,
Sham,
Yasharala,
Yeshua,
Iwada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Aya,
Nawa,
Nawa,
Aitazawa,
Tazwa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakarwa,
Rekau,
Alyaka,
Awi,
Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wa, Yashama'alium, Mawaaba, Wahagoyim, Gabal, Wayama1, Wayamalak, Palashah, Amishabia, Tazabor, Gum, Ashabor, Nalawa, Aimum, Iowa, Zorawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamudyam, Kasaya, Sarah, Kayabian, Banakol, Koyashwan, Nashab Marwa, Bayan, Nara, Iowa, Daman, La Adama, Shayadamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kairab, Wakaza Abba, Wakaza Bak, Wakata Zalmanai, Call, Nasayakamor, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahayim, Alahayab, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapunya, Raka'a, Ka'ash, Tabaira, Yaira, Wa, Kalahaba, Falahat, Haryum, Kun, Tharadatma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabahalum, Mala'a, Punyahum, Kwalawan, Waya, Wakwashwa, Shimka, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Adiai, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Daiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shimka, Yahawah, Labaka, Aliwan, Alcohol, Haratza. Now in the English, keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Zaid. Yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempests, make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. You may be seated. All right, so I'm going to read Shalom on Christ, everybody. So I'm going to read Genesis. Y'all got a Bible with y'all?
Yeah.
You do? So, do you?
Yes.
You go? Okay. So we're going to go to Genesis chapter 19.
Which one? Which book?
The Bible. Yeah, the red one, that's the Apocrypha. So we're going to go to Genesis 19. It'll be in the beginning in the front. And we're going to be reading about Sodom and Gomorrah.
Genesis what?
Genesis 19, chapter 19. At the very top. So how this goes is I'm going to read the first 7 verses in the Hebrew. Then once I get it done with the Hebrew, then we'll read about it in the English, and then I'll start giving breakdowns. So right here, y'all don't have one right now, but this is the Tanakh. So it's just in the Hebrew. So Genesis chapter 19, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Ata yaba ad anya ha malav bayam. Let's see. Adama. Let's see. Adama. Ka'ai Rab. Yala Ya'at. Yasha'ab. Kasha Ayar. Tadam. See, Wayara'a La Ya'at. La'at Salaki. Waya Kwa'om La Quarafyam. Wayashathaya Apayam. Arataza'a. See, Waya Ma'ar. Hanya. Na'a. See, Adanya. Ra'an. Na'a. Or Kayaf. Iba Daba'am. Yala Ya in Ya. Arataza'a. Rapala Yaba'am. Let's see. Washa Kamafyam. See. Yala Bathayam. Ladara Kaba'am. Waya Mara'a La'a. Kaya. Mara Kaya'ab. Nala Ya'at. Waya Pataza'ar Ka'am. Ma'ad. Layata Ra'an. Alaya'ar. Waya Ba'am. All Kayafya. Waya Ayash. Laham. Mashata'a. Yamataza Ra'af. Apa'a. See, Waya. See. Waya Ba'an. Laban. Ara'am. Yasha Kaba'am. Ya Nashaya. Ra'ar. Anashya. Tada'am. Takaya. I'll Akayaf. Manya'ad. Wayad. Let's see. Zapa'an. Ka'al. Ha'aim. Makwata Makwataza, Yakwa Ra'am, All La La'at, Waya Ma Ra'am, La'an, Aya, Nashayam, Asha'ar, Kanya, Alayam, let's see, Alaya La'a, Ayataza Ya'am, Alayanya, Ya Na the I, a thumb, Ya Yawataza'a, Allah see La'at, Kapa, it's like Hapatha Ya'ab Dala'af, Makwa, it's like Tagar, Akad Ra'am, Ya Ma'ad All Na'a Akaya Thara'ai. Okay, so that's it for the first 7 verses in the Hebrew. So now we can go over it in English. You got Genesis 19:1 right now? So I'm gonna have you read from Genesis 19. So whenever you start reading, you'll just like announce it. You'll just say, this is the book of Genesis.
This is the book of Genesis,
chapter
19,
verse 1.
verse 1.
Go ahead.
And there came 2 angels, Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and a Lot seeing them rose up to meet them. He bowed himself with his face towards the ground, and he said, Behold, now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the streets all night. And he pressed upon them and greatly, and they turned in unto him and entered into his house.
So you can stop there real quick. So this is pretty much going over Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Yeah.
Sodom and Gomorrah. What do you know of Sodom and Gomorrah?
That's the freak show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Freak show.
So why was it the freak show?
Because it was just him on him, her on her, and all that. Orgies and all that.
Yep. It's a lot of homosexuality, a lot of unlawful sexual deviancy, if you will, that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. People who don't even know the Bible have heard of Sodom and Gomorrah. Even the term to sodomize or to sodomite comes from Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And that has something to do with that community. So right here, we're reading in the beginning, Genesis 19, right? So now there's these 2 angels that are going into Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And now they meet a man named Lot. Now Lot, from what we're reading so far, he's trying to pretty much just be hospitable. Like, he sees them. He's like, hey, like, I see y'all out the street and stuff. Y'all can just chill by my crib, kick it for a little bit, rest up, and y'all can go do what y'all want to do. So, he's just talking to the angels right now. So you can pick up where you left off. Let's see. I believe you were at go to verse 3.
And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him and entered into his house. And he made them a feast and did bake unleavened bread, and they ate it. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house around, both old and young, all the people from their every quarter.
See,
and they
you can stop right there. So there's something I want to focus on, what you just read, right? So it says the men of the city, right? It says even the men of Sodom compassed the house around, both old and young. So this is people of all ages. We're not just talking about grown men. We're talking about children. You understand? People who haven't even hit puberty, if you will. Now they're surrounding this house. Let's find out why they're surrounding this house. You can start at verse 5.
And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them.
Now stop right there. Now where it says that we may know them, what do you think that means?
They trying to get to know them, trying to get freaky.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to have sex with these men.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do, right? So think about this. Imagine you chilling at your crib, right? And you see a brother, two brothers, whatever. You might even know them from before, right? Like, hey, man, like, you know, it's late out, it's cold, it's hot, whatever. You're just trying to be hospitable. Come on into the house. Like, you know, me and my family will take care of you, make sure you got something to eat, place to lay down your head, whatnot. And they're like, oh, yeah, you know what? Cool. You know, so they go in there, they chilling. You close your door. Now, just to really picture this in your mind, imagine men from all over the city. I'm not talking about like a few people from down the block. I'm talking about everywhere. And they see these two men who they've never seen them before. And they're surrounding your house, banging on your door like, hey, like, look, who are they? Bring them out so we can get to know them, so we can have sex with them, right? That's what's going on right now. Just really think about that image and how frightening that can be to a lot of people. You're just trying to be hospitable. You know, you're just taking care of your people. And you open the door and it's just probably, hundreds of homosexual men of all ages, by the way. I'm talking about from 10 years old to 85. And they want to get to know these men. So let's continue to read, right? Let's read what Lot does. You can start at verse 6.
And Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly.
Right.
Behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known men.
So it says not known men, meaning that these are women, they've never done anything, right? They're virgins. Now, we'll stop right there real quick. So virgin today, we know that as usually somebody who's never, you know, had any type of sexual experience. Well, in the Bible, you can actually get the Zondervan's, I don't have it with me at the moment, but in the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, a virgin can be that, but it's also referred to as usually a young woman, but it could be a woman of any age who has never been with a man, or it can just be a young woman of marriageable age. But she might have known a man, but she's still of marriageable age, and she's just a young, fair woman. So it can also mean that as well. So yes, you're right. So it says that they have not known man, the virgins, right? So you can continue reading. Let's see what Lot does.
Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eye. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof.
Now we can stop right there. So now this gets a little controversial. So he's trying to protect these guests of his, right? And he sees all these sexually deviant men, and he's so desperate to protect his guests. He's like, look, I got daughters that I've never known them. If you want them, you can have them. Now, I'll be honest with you. Me personally, I ain't giving my daughters to a bunch of them. He, she, thems, and they, thems, and all that. I'm not doing that. But at this time, Lot is trying to protect his guests. Now, go to verse 9.
And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will need to be judged. Now, will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed sore upon the men, even Lot, and came near to break the door.
Now, what do you think that means?
They tried to break into the house.
Now, before that, when it says, this one fellow came into sojourn, and he will needs be a judge now, will we deal worse with thee than with them? What do you think that means?
And he's talking about the daughters.
So, no. So what they're saying is, here's the thing. They don't want his daughters. They want the men, right? So now I'm going to read it one more time. I'll give you one more chance. It says, now will we deal worse with thee than with them? They're saying that to who?
Wow.
Okay. What do you think that means?
You're going to get it better or let us get them.
Yep. So pretty much what's going on is they're so angry because Lot's stopping them from getting at these men. So now they're like, you know what? If you don't let us get them, we about to get you, and we're gonna do you worse than what we was gonna do them. And like you read, they're trying to break down the door. So you got to understand, this is a violent act. They're trying to break into the house. Imagine a whole bunch of people trying to break into your house. You just trying to defend your family, trying to defend your guests. That's what's going on. What you got?
Didn't they already try to break in when they said that you seen the shadows on the roof?
So they're surrounding the house.
Yeah,
so they was already knocking at the door. But now you gotta think it's getting more aggressive now. So now it went from a knock to, hey, let us in. Now they trying to push in.
Yeah.
They really trying to get in there now because now they're angry with Lot. Like, no, you gonna give us these men. That's what's gonna happen right now. And you know what? Since you don't want to give us them, we're gonna take them by force, and we're gonna take you. That's what's going on. So I just want y'all to understand the spirit behind this, right? But we're gonna keep reading, right? You can go to verse 10.
But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door and of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to the front of to find the house.
So what's going on is these angels. No, these are angels. They don't know that they're angels. They just think they're just regular men. But these are angels. So they seen what's going on. You know what? Bump all this. They just y'all all blind now. But here's the crazy part. It says they wearied themselves to find the door. They're blind. They're still trying to get in the house. They can't see, and they're still just where they at. Still trying to get in the house. That's the spirit behind this sexual deviancy and why it's so important. Yeah, conscious. That's what's going on. We need to understand the spirit behind this because, see, in America today, they try to make it seem like it's harmless. Harmless. It's okay. Same-sex marriages is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And now it's gotten so bad that if you say anything about the rainbow community, what's the one word that always pops up? Anybody's free to raise their hand. I just want to see if anybody knows. What you got?
You are what's the word? You're a racist. You're a racist against homosexuals.
Yeah. That's not the word though. What you got, sis?
A hatred towards them.
You're close. It's a key word. It starts with an H. I'll give you that.
Starts with A.
Oh, homophobic.
Homophobic. There you go. You are homophobic. That's like they throw that around like candy. And you could be cool about it too. You don't have to be the type of person that's like, oh, I can't stand them. You can be like, hey man, you know what? I don't swing that way. Y'all do what y'all want to do, but I'm cool. You're still homophobic. They'll just slap it on you, right? It's like a tactic that they use because that spirit that they have is aggressive. You got to understand that. Let me put it to you like this. We're human beings. You got man and woman. Even though now today they want to make it seem like you got 72 different genders, whatever. But it takes a man and a woman to make a child. I think we all can grasp that concept, hopefully, because nowadays people try to twist that around. Now, a man and a woman makes a child. You, as people, we want there to be more of us, right? So if you're a brother, you're gonna get with a sister. If you're a sister, you're gonna get with a brother. It's normal. That's how it is. It's always been like that, right? Here's the thing with the rainbow community. They want to make more of them. We want to make more of us. Now, heterosexuality creates babies. Simple. Homosexuality does not create babies, but they want it to be more of them, people that think like them. So let me ask y'all a question: how do you create more of them?
Don't.
There's a way to do it. What you guys says?
They force themselves on you by being extra aggressive, or they'll knowing that you're straight, and they invite you to stuff.
You honest, sis. So if I could, no, you're right. She's right. For anybody who didn't hear, she's right. So what she's saying is they force themselves on you, right? That's what I wanted to get at. So let me put it to you like this. Spirits like company that is like them. Like, so perfect example. Here, we follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We want to be around like-minded people. I'm pretty sure we all heard that term. You want to be around like-minded people. If you're the type of brother, you want to get ahead in life, you want to progress, you want to be around people that have the same mentality as you. You don't want to be around people that are going to hold you back. You feel me? If you a sister in the world, or even just a sister in general, and you the type of sister, you married, or you might not even have to be married, but you're the type that, you're a little bit more conservative. You don't like to go to the club and do all that extra stuff, the whole stuff, right? So as a woman, you want to hang around other women that are like you. Because once you start hanging around people that are not like you or have a different spirit, well, you don't want to be like that, right? You don't want to be around them. That's normal. That's a normal human trait. You want to be around people like you. The same rule applies to these kind of people. They want to be around people like them. But that's why I wanted to talk about this topic real quick. To make more of them, they can't make more of them the way we make more of us. Heterosexuality creates babies. Homosexuality does not. So how do you make more of them? Simple. Like you said, sis, they got to force it on you. Perfect example. When I was in the military for a while, that was running around a lot. Like the LGBTQ community is like rampant. So I would hear all these different stories. I'll always hear about it way after the fact because people don't want to talk about it because it's kind of hard to talk about. And a lot of times I'll hear this from, it could be a brother or a sister. One story I remember in particular, it was a sister and she was hanging around, some people, whatever. Some of them were lesbians. Now, here's the thing. These are lesbians. They like women. All right. They want to be with a woman. But in a straight woman's eyes, it's like, oh, well, she's a woman. I'm a woman, whatever. So they're hanging out, going out, getting drinks, getting to know each other. In her mind, she's just like, oh, yeah, we're just friends. Little do you know that's a predator. And what she's doing is, this is like a tactic that some predators use like in the wild and stuff. Best way to get your prey is, well, make it feel safe. Lead it to you. Why you got to go to them? Nah, lead them to you. Make them feel comfortable and alone around you. So this is what these women would do. So they'll get to know them. They'll be cool, chilling. You start trusting them. Next thing you know, sister done had too many damn drinks. And now she's like, oh, she's trusting like this person's going to take care of her. Is she going to take care of you? All right. You're going to wake up to, I can't get too vulgar, for community guidelines purposes, but you can put 2 and 2 together. It was another time I knew of some sisters that had roommates, but then there was one lesbian. Long story short, that one lesbian went in, they all came out lesbians.
Them demons be jumping.
They all came out that way. Now all of a sudden, I don't like men. oh, niggas ain't, all that stuff. And they was doing stuff in there. What you got?
I'm gonna give you one that you can use for the community. They just took it to the liquor store.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what it is.
Took it to the liquor store.
That's all it is. It's grooming.
Yeah.
They're grooming you to be that way. But like you said, sis, they gotta force it on you. They gotta create it, right? What you got?
I call it will it in, due to, like you said, they get the weakest vessel. They see where you weak at, and they use it against you, and that's how they get you in. And they invite you to parties, and I'm saying it by experience because I've been through it.
I understand.
So it's easier to explain. And they invite you in, and they let you think that it's good and dandy. Some of them listen to see what you like and what you don't like, and what you like, they bring it to the table. They wing you in, they lure you in. They wait a few hours, and then they start bringing in what you like. You know what I mean? And now your mind is distracted because you see what you like. So that's a weak vessel. You know what I mean? So now you got the ones that are stronger than the weaker ones because their job is just to lure you in. Now the stronger ones are going to come out. And these demons, they hop from one person to the next person. So when those ones come out, they get you comfortable. They take you into another room, they get you comfortable. And the ones that's going to do you, they prep you and relax you for them.
Yep. Everything you said was true, sis. Now they also do this thing I like to call I call it mental gymnastics. So what a lot of people today, especially I see this more with brothers, what they'll do is, like I said, they'll use that tactic here, homophobic, right? They'll say that you're homophobic as a way to like make it seem like, oh, well, you're insecure. Why do you not like to be around those type of men? Maybe you might be a little yourself. They make you feel like that, like, oh, you're being insecure. What are you hiding? They try to make you, they try to get in your head, right? And I hate to say it, but some brothers fall into that. And they get into this mindset of, oh, well, I'm so comfortable with my sexuality, I can be around it. I can be around them. It's cool. I don't have to worry about that stuff. And they get comfortable. You hang around them. Next thing you know, you get too comfortable. And then one thing leads to another, and now you don't know what the hell happened. There's things called date rape, roofing people. There's so many different ways. I can go on all day about it, right? But my whole point I wanted to get to was assault. It's assault, all right? It can be physical, mental, whatever. It's assault. That's how they get you like this. I'm actually, let me see if I can find it real quick before we continue reading. I had an article. See if I still got it. I may still have it. I hope I do. Origins. Don't tell me I don't have it no more. Trans age. I might not have it on me. If I don't have it, it's fine because I still remember it. There was an article that I read with, it was the 2015 CDC article about the LGBTQ community. And they actually did the numbers. They did the numbers and showed that it was roughly about 48% of women who identified as bisexual or lesbian were sexually assaulted between the ages of 11 and 17. At one point, I forgot the actual year, but at one point they actually viewed that mentality as a mental disorder, something that needed to be treated, but they took it out because that's the spirit behind it. They took it out like, we're not going to say that it's a mental disorder anymore. We're gonna endorse it now, because now spiritually this is Babylon. This was just like the times of in ancient Rome and Greece. They've been practicing this stuff. This is nothing new. This has always been around, but this is not our culture, right? They forced this on us, right? And we're going to show how the Most High feels about this type of mentality. So I'm going to have you go back to Genesis, right? And I'm going to have you go to verse 13. Just let me know when you get there. It's too long. It's not that.
Okay,
You got it? So before you read it, you'll just say, this is the book of Genesis,
This is the book of Genesis,
chapter 19, verse 13. All right, go ahead.
For we will destroy this place because the cry of them is
Waxing.
wax great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it.
So it says that the Lord sent us to destroy them. Angels was there to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because the Lord was disgusted with the place. All right. For everybody who's out there who wants to say that, well, God loves everybody. God loves everything. God hates. It's in the Bible multiple times. The Christian pastor just loves to conveniently go over it. But no, there's things that the Most High does not like. Look at the book of Leviticus. It's the law. It literally tells you the do's and the don'ts. The Most High likes this. The Most High does not like this. It's like a parent and a child. You're going to teach a child, hey, this is okay. This is not okay. You can do this, but you can't do that. The Most High has rules. That's the whole point of it, right? So he didn't like what was going on, so he sent them angels to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. But let's keep reading. Go to verse 14.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which
Married.
his daughters,
Mm-hmm.
and said, Get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that
Mocked.
unto his sons-in-law.
So what's going on right now is this is Lot going out into the city, right? And the reason why he's going out into the city is because we just read earlier in verse 12, right? That angels went to Lot and said, hey, is there anybody else like you in the city? Because they see what Lot doing. They're like, okay, Lot, they rocking with Lot because Lot rocking with us. That's what's going on right now. So like, hey, you got anybody else around who, like you, if so, warn them before they destroy the city and get them up out of here. So, of course, he goes to his sons-in-law who married his other daughters. And he's telling them what's going on. Like, hey, they about to burn this place down. Okay, I'm trying to save y'all. Let's get up out of here. But it said at the bottom, but he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. So his sons-in-law are looking at him like, you got to think how this sounds to them. You mean to tell me that the city going to burn down by some angels that's sent by the Most High? Yeah, I'm not buying that. It's similar to like when Noah was building the ark before the Lord flooded the earth. He notified people like, hey, like there's about to be water everywhere. Water will come from the sky. There's going to be geysers. The whole earth is going to be flooded. You got to think to the average person, that sounds crazy. You sound like a crackhead. So they'll be like, I don't know what you've been smoking, but yeah, nah, that's not happening, right? Just like how when we go to camp, when brothers go to camp and we tell everybody like World War III is on the horizon. We tell brothers and sisters that you need to stop doing drugs. You need to stop partaking in this lifestyle. You need to protect your kids. You need to be against abortion and all these other stuff. And some people look at us like, who are these dudes? Dudes dressed like Mortal Kombat characters telling me how to live my life. Who are you? And they're going to go right on about their life. And that's exactly what his sons-in-law did. We know what's going on, but they're like, that sounds crazy. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Let's read what happens. You can go to verse 15.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And when the morning
Arose.
Mm-hmm. Then the angels hated was saying,
Arise,
which are here, let's thou be confused in the pursuit of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And while he went
the men laid hold upon his hand and upon the hand of his wife and upon the hand of his two daughters. The Lord began mercify unto him, and they both hit him forth and set him without the city.
So now what's happening is they're destroying the city, right? These angels are destroying the city. So what Lot did the smart thing. He said, all right, y'all want to listen to me? Okay. I'm going to take my wife. I'm going to take my daughters. And we're getting up out of here. That's what's going to happen right now. So now, let's see. Morning. Go to, I might have you skip something real quick. Oh, okay. So read verse 17. We'll talk about that real quick. Where it says, and it came to pass.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 17. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth aboard, and that he said, escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
So you can stop right there, right? So they're telling them, as they're running away from the city, whatever you do not look behind you, or you're going to be consumed, okay? You're going to be consumed with the fire and the brimstone that's raining down, right? You're going to die. Just go. So now I'm actually going to say, let's see, you might have you skip something. I'm going to have you go down to a certain thing. I'm going to do the thing. Cities. Okay, so I'm going to actually have you skip down to verse 24.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew these cities and all the pain and all the inhabitants of the cities, and they watch grow upon the grounds.
Keep going.
His wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillow of salt.
So you can stop right there, right? So now we just read that the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah, fire and brimstone. Just think of meteors in a sense, right? Meteors. Let's see. I'm not sure. So they rained fire and brimstone. So you got to think this is coming down. This is destroying the city. This city's being set ablaze. People are dying, because that's what was going to happen. The angels were sent there to destroy that city. Now, we read earlier, one of the instructions that they were given was as they were fleeing, whatever you do not look back, or you're going to be consumed. That's what was told. Now, there was a problem. It says, but his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. A pillar of salt is just rock. So she got caught up in the fire, right? Y'all ever seen like some of those movies or documentaries where it'll be, I'm trying to think of something. There was one, I believe it was Pompeii, when the volcano erupted. And people got caught up in the fire, and they pretty much, they just became like statues in a sense. Like it just molted them, just like as they were. So that's pretty much what happened to her. Now, here's what I want to focus on. And anybody's free to answer. Why do you think she looked back? What you guys say?
looking back either for a spouse or a family, and
So
she turned into dust.
lie, because her husband and her daughters
Mm.
were with her. They were all fleeing together. So why do you think she was looking back as they were all running away? You not actually, yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
Because she was curious to look to see what happened.
You're really close. You're right, by the way. Yes. What you got?
Because she was in the little nasty stuff with him. She looking to see what's going on with her girlfriends and the freaks that she been messing with.
So I want to make sure that it's like y'all all on it. So it doesn't say in the Bible that she was participating in these acts. However, y'all not wrong. Because here's the thing. If you get being told to run out of a burning building, right, you and your family, all y'all running away, right? You got everything you need. Why would you look back? What you got?
Because if he would have never said don't look back, they probably would have never looked back. Because like the thing about people is when they say don't do something, it makes them want to do it more.
Okay, you're not wrong, but it goes a little deeper than that. The reason, I'll say it one more time. If you're running out of a burning building, why would you look back? What's a genuine reason? Like, why would you look back? Because why? Something you left? But no, what were you about to say?
I was going to say the same thing.
Something you left,
behind.
right? My point being is there's something that you wanted
And you couldn't get it.
and you couldn't get it. That's why you look back. So who knows? Maybe she was doing this freak stuff. Maybe she liked the lifestyle. Maybe she secretly wanted to participate in it, right? Maybe, remember that she also had other daughters too. Remember how Lot went to his sons-in-laws and told them like, hey, we need to get up out of here. She had family there, right? Who knows the reason? It doesn't necessarily say that she was a lesbian, but she could have. What's the sister say? She looked back because she didn't want to leave. Pretty much that's the essence of it. She didn't want to leave. There was something. We don't know what it was, but there was something about Sodom and Gomorrah she did not want to leave behind. And because she couldn't let it go, she died. That's the whole point. Something about that, whatever it may be, something about it, she couldn't let it go and she died. I'm going to tell you something right now. If somebody like, hey, this place about to get bombed, you need to get up out of here. I'm leaving. Whoever I can grab with me, you better come with me because I ain't looking back. If they tell me, hey, if you look back, you might get caught in a blast. All right, I'm out of here. No, I'm not. Hey, whatever I left, look, I can live with them $20. Like I can go. I can go. I left my shoes, whatever. I'll get some new ones. I don't care. Okay. There's things more important in life. Okay. Like living. That's the whole point. Lot didn't look back. His daughters didn't look back, but she did. What you got, sis?
Yeah, that's kind of go with the way America have people is they more focused on materialistic things than what's already in front of them, which was your family. Those things that you left behind in the fire, you can get it back when you go to wherever I needed you to go. Is probably was already waiting for you there, but you were so enticed by probably a chain or you know what I mean to keep looking back like, oh, I'm gonna lose. When you're not, the prize is what's in front of you because if you keep looking back, you're gonna miss what's in front of you.
That's an excellent point, sis. The water for saying that. For those of y'all who might have not heard of what she's saying is, there were other things that are just like summarize what you were saying. There's other things that are more important, but we're so caught up with, like you said, materialistic things that really don't matter realistically. Like you can live without it, but we're so caught up on what we want, or what we're used to, we can't let it go. I'm gonna tell you something right now. We speak about it all the time. There's gonna come a time. It might be in our lifetime. It might be in the next lifetime. You don't know, but there's gonna come a time where America's gonna burn. Okay. There's been rumors of this is in. I don't know if y'all know this. World War III is in the Bible. The Bible's old. There's still historians today that are trying to figure out how old the Bible is. Some people say it's 2,000 years old. 5,000, 10,000. They don't freaking know. All they know is that it's old as hell. Okay? So how is a book that people like to think, oh, it's a myth? This ain't real. Okay, well, why is it that everything that was predicted in the Bible happened? World War II was in the Bible. That happened. World War I was in the Bible. That happened. Sodom and Gomorrah was a real place. It ain't no more. Okay, Egypt. Everybody talks about Egypt. I don't know what it is with black people. We love Egypt. I don't know why. Your ancestors were slaves in Egypt. Just so you know that. Okay, you're not Egyptian. You're not Pharaoh. Okay, you're not what the Egyptian gods, Anubis and all that other stuff. Like, no, that's not our culture. Let the Egyptians have their stuff, which ain't really much because look at Egypt now. Egypt used to be like how America is now. Egypt used to be the superpower. Thawada says, I appreciate it. I'm Tawab right now. Thawada though. So my point being is, Egypt was a superpower at one point. They had Pharaoh. Think of Pharaoh was like your government, president, whatever you want to do, right? They ruled at a time period. What is Egypt now? It's a tourist attraction, right? Now you would say it's Sodom and Gomorrah. Yes, the United States of, it ain't even just the United States of America. It's the United States influence as well, because the conquistadors didn't just come here. They went to Latin America. It was some people might not know this, but for so-called black people, right? We wasn't brought here first. You want to know where we were brought first? Let's see if anybody knows. During the transatlantic slave trade, do you know what was one of the first places we were dropped off at? Cuba. Not Cuba, but you're in the right territory though. It is in Latin America. Let me give you a hint. What's a Latin American What's a Latin American country that has the most black people? Think big. Brazil. Yep, Brazil. We was brought to Latin America first. It wasn't like people think it was just here. Like, no, we was brought to Puerto Rico, Cuba, brought to El Salvador, the Dominican Republic, Colombia. We everywhere. We everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just black people, the native indigenous people too. Now, our northern tribe brothers and sisters, the natives, they've been split. They came up to the Americas a long time ago. They was already here. But it wasn't just black people that was being put on them ships. They got us from Africa, right? Now, sidebar. This is a quick little history lesson, right? Because for I see we got some new brothers in here. People are going to try to challenge you when you claim to be an Israelite. The one thing that they will always throw at you is, well, you can't be an Israelite because you're African. Because when we read the Bible and you read about Hamites, mostly Hamites inhabits the continent of Africa. However, what people don't understand is we was in Africa. Judah, the southern tribes were in West Africa. If you don't believe me, you can Trinidad, Kansas. If you don't believe me, you can Google it. That's the wonders of technology now. You can actually Google it yourself. You can go type in, it's an old map called Negro Land, right? Negro Land. It's when they went up in Africa, it was a bunch of Europeans. They went over there and they found certain territories. One of those territories that they found, it was by Benin in West Africa. It's called the Kingdom of Judah, literally. So yeah, we were in Africa. Facts. Do we have African DNA? Yeah. We ain't stupid. Like Judah was messing around with Hamites in the Bible. His wife was a Canaanite. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High is not concerned about skin color. That's one of the things we got to get out of our head. He's not concerned about skin color. The Most High is not concerned of how black you are or how brown you are, if your hair is looser or straighter, afro. He's not concerned about that. He's concerned about your lineage from your father's side of the family. All right? Yes, we were in Africa. We were shipped off, though. The rest of the Africans, they over there. So what was so different about us? Because we were God's chosen people and they weren't. And we suffered the curses. The Hamites, they chilling. Yeah, they got their problems and stuff too, but they got their own countries. They got Nigeria. They got Egypt. They got Ethiopia. Okay, they got Uganda. They have their countries, right? They have their land. Meanwhile, all the black Israelites, we scattered all over the place. We had to make our own homes in Trinidad and Jamaica, Cuba, Puerto Rico, the United States, the Dominican Republic. We had to make our own homes because we were taken away. Just like our northern tribe brothers and sisters, they got put on them ships too. The Taino, the Arawak Indian Tainos are famous for being in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. They're also in Florida, Cuba. They're also in, believe it or not, they were in Trinidad as well. They traveled everywhere, right? And they rounded them up too, put them on slave ships and shipped them all over the Caribbean. And they shipped them out to Europe as well. They used to kidnap native women and men. They always talk about the women. They don't ever bring up the men and ship them off over there. You know, there's Latinos in the United Kingdom. I didn't even know that. It's like a couple years ago. I'm like, what they doing over there? Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. Just wanted to go over that real quick, right? But going back to the main topic, the spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah. So we just talked about how this woman right here, Lot's wife, she couldn't let it go. There was something about this lifestyle that she liked. So that should say something about you. There's going to be a time, Lord allow, in our lifetime, things are gonna get a little spicy, and you're gonna have to make a decision. And your decision is gonna be, okay, either I'm gonna leave, or I want to stay with America. I love. What is it? I haven't watched TV in so long. Salakia. I love Real Housewives. I love going to parties. I love hookah lounges. I miss getting tattoos. All right. I love going to swinger clubs. All right. I miss going to the strip club. What is it? Salakia. What's the ones in like Miami and stuff? I don't even know. The ones that all the rappers be going to. Was it King of Diamonds and stuff like that? Yeah, like everybody love going. What happens in Miami stays in Miami. Everybody said, or what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's literally called Sin City. Literally, that's his nickname, right? Because you know what's going on over there. This is what you love. And then when you see them missiles, like they trying to evacuate people, like no, you're gonna be, but you're dead. Goodbye, you're dead, right? You want to align with America? Okay, you're gonna die with America. And that's what happened to Lot's wife. She couldn't let go spiritually of whatever it was in Sodom and Gomorrah, whether if it was the sexual deviancy, or it might have been the fact that she had family that was still there, right? Perfect class. I was just reading Genesis last night after Bond. Yep, Most High in Christ. So we covered that, right? There's another. I got time. There was another topic that I wanted to get into. It's still talking about the same thing, right? So I'm actually going to read to y'all an article real quick. And this is talking about the, I don't even know why this is a thing. Oh, I actually found it. So yeah, so I'll read a couple of things. So that article that I was talking about earlier about the LGBTQ community. So this is the CDC's National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey found for LGBT people. Now it says 44% of women who identify as lesbians, 61% of bisexual women experience sexual assault, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner, not by some random person, somebody that they know, compared to 35% of straight women, 26% of gay men, and 37% of bisexual men experience sexual assault, physical violence, and stalking by an intimate partner, compared to 29% of straight men. So what I'm saying is that there's an increase for people who are a part of this lifestyle, right? This is stuff that they don't talk about. It says 46% of bisexual women have experienced sexual assault, compared to 17% of straight women and 13% of lesbians. So now there was another one. Oh, here it is. This is the 2015 U.S. Transgender Survey. Found that 47% of transgender people are sexually assaulted at some point in their lifetime. That's about half, okay? Meaning that there's an increase of people who have been sexually violated at some point when participating in this lifestyle. And how we talked about earlier, how do you think they got in that lifestyle? I don't care what anybody says. Ain't nobody born gay.
Right.
That's a myth. No one, you mean to tell me a baby, like a baby, who can't even form cognitive thoughts. They can't even speak yet. They still growing teeth in their gums and stuff. You mean to tell me that a child can be sexually attracted to the same sex? And like they know it, like you gotta think about that for a second. All they know how to do is pee and poop themselves. That's it. But they know I like men. How? You can't even say your own name. So how can you understand the concept of that? No, they're taught to be like that. You see, like how you see the news with these schools. Now they're trying to teach sex education to kids as young as like kindergarten. First, these are kids. They don't need to know this stuff. What sex shouldn't even be a topic. Let them be kids. Let them like play sports, play the game, play Pokemon or something. I don't know. Be a kid. All right. You'll get older, and you can be taught about the right stuff when you're older, when you're mature. Okay. They say that the average human brain isn't fully developed until you're about, it ranges between like 21, 25 years old. But kids are very impressionable. If you teach a 1-year-old child how to play the piano, they'll be the best piano player because it's like second nature to them. That's why a lot of like athletes, they teach their kids young. They get them playing basketball young, soccer young, football young. You teach them young, so now it's a part of them. But if you're teaching little boys that it's okay to wear a tutu, all right, you teach them little girls that they can kiss other little girls at the age of 3. Well, what you think they're gonna think of as they get older? They're gonna think that is socially acceptable and that it's normal. So now when they're 18 years old and they've been taught by their parents this whole time, like, yes, Susan, you can kiss Britt. You can do that. Jamal, you can be with Jerome. It's cool, right? And then now here we come and we're like, no, you can't do that. They're gonna be like, what? What you mean? But my mom taught me. I learned in school that this is okay. There's only 2 genders. No, there's not. There's 72. Name them. Exactly. You go to the store and there's a woman's sections and a man's section. Just think about that, okay? But now it's so, oh my gosh, it's so bad now that now these are the things that you got to talk about now. And to make it even worse, the transgender community. Now it's so bad, you gotta wonder if that's a woman or not. What you got, Ash?
I went into Target one day.
Mm-hmm.
It's the women, the men's, the kids, the electronics section, and they got a bisexual section.
They have a bisexual
rainbow section in Target. Right here in Victorville.
Good.
They have a rainbow section in Target.
You don't even know what to say.
A rainbow section in Target.
Mental gymnastics. I learn something new every day. My goodness. This is the reality that we live in, right? But how did this come to be? Because they teach these little kids young. That's what they do. Because when you're a grown man or a grown woman, it's harder to get at you because you already settled in your ways. You already know, like, I ain't gonna do that. I'm good on that. It's harder to get at you. So they got to get you when you're vulnerable, when you're young, when you're impressionable, right? That's why they're forcing this so much. And this is why also now, this has already been going on, but now this is coming more into light. People will call us crazy when we say that pedophilia has something to do with the community as well. They said, no, it doesn't. No, you can be born that way. It's not a learned behavior. Okay. So I'm going to read this real quick. It's an article that says the rise of transgenderism over the last few years has made us all wonder what the next progression is. That, let's see, that's where trans age comes in. Activists are claiming that age is nothing more than a social construct and that trans age individuals need to be accepted into society. I'm going to just read a little bit more. We were originally told that transgender people just wanted to be accepted into society and use whatever bathroom they chose. This is a real article, by the way. Next, we were told that males who considered themselves to be trans women, like collegiate swimmer Leah Thomas, simply wanted to compete in women's sports. We've now arrived at the point where we're called bigots and transphobes that we were talking about earlier if we don't agree that men can get their periods and get pregnant too. That's how bad it's gotten. That's how I can't make this stuff up.
That's a psychologically brain tumor.
What they're telling you is, if I was to sit here and let's say I didn't know me, and let's say I'm having a conversation with the brother for whatever reason, right? And you see me like, hey, what's good, bro? And I'm like, oh no, you can't call me that. You can't call. I identify as a woman, and you looking at me with the face you have right now, and I tell you that I can get pregnant and that I can have a menstrual cycle. People gonna look at me like, what in the hell? But wait, you can't do that now because now it's offensive. You are not accepting my identity, so now you're wrong. And you're sitting here like it's gotten to the point where people are complaining, as they should. Like, so now we can't even tell people the truth. You can't sit here and tell a little boy like, no, you can't get your period. Yes, I can. No, you can't. You can't. You literally cannot do that. That's how bad it's gotten, right? If you sit here and you tell a little girl you can't get a woman pregnant, they can get you for almost a hate crime now. That's how bad. You can't tell the truth. You can't tell the truth. Matter of fact, if I could real quick, give me I believe it's Romans 1 and 25. The book of Romans chapter 1 verse 25. There's a scripture in there. What you got?
On that subject.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they put out that rapper. What's the rapper that was supposed to be pregnant?
Lil Nas X.
Oh, yeah, Lil Nas X. Grooming.
Supposed to be pregnant.
Grooming. It's an image because first of all, music is very influential. Everybody listens to music. Doesn't matter what kind of music, we all listen to music. Romans 1, chapter 1, verse 25, I believe it's that one. So they have that, right? And then if you say anything bad about them, because some of these music videos now is damn near pornography.
Yeah.
That's how bad it's gotten now, right? Who was that music video? It's been a minute. Wow. Everybody was going crazy about that, right? Here's the crazy thing is Cardi B didn't had videos like that already. She had a video, I don't know the name of the song, where she was just fully naked, like fully. All they did was they just they edited it where they like blocked out like certain areas, so she wasn't naked, and she got away with it. Everybody know what Cardi B looked like. The world knows what she looked like. And she ain't the only one, right? And you gotta understand, this is on YouTube. Like the way the internet is set up nowadays, kids know how to work an iPad before they even know how to talk. Right? I believe it's Romans 1 and 25. Just let me know when you get it. So this is the reality that we live in. If you speak out against it, you are wrong, or they make you feel like you're wrong. Yep, Romans 1, chapter 1, verse 25. Yep, go ahead.
Okay. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Because you can believe in whatever you want to believe. Man and woman makes a child. Not so says me, so says God. So says biology, science, right? But now, who changed the truth of God into a lie? Now you're being told a man can have a baby. Did you know that there are men in America who are traveling to South America to get a thing called a uterus transplant? For those of y'all who don't know, a uterus, a woman has that, right? Women have a uterus, they have ovaries, they have eggs. Men have testicles, we produce sperm. But now they're telling men that we can go and identify as a woman and then go to somewhere in South America and get surgery to get a uterus transplant. It's gotten so bad. I seen something where they have like these, it's like a doll or something. I don't really know what to call it. But they have these uterus transplants, right? And they'll get like this fake baby. And gosh, they'll put the fake baby in there, and then the man will carry it for I don't even know. I stopped reading it after a while because it was crazy. So I just stopped reading it after a while. But he'll carry it for however long he wants or whatever, and then he'll try to push it out to simulate childbirth. I'm not making this up. What you guys say?
Push it out where? Because
That's a great question.
it can't be out your anus
It's coming out somewhere.
or
I
your
don't know.
penis. Because it's no.
Some of them ain't got that anymore either, sis. They get rid of that. But you see the confusion, right? You see, like
Where is it coming from?
you can't sit here and tell us that there's nothing wrong with this. But when we get up there and we tell you like you shouldn't be doing this, people look at us like we're crazy. Who changed the truth of God into a lie? And keep reading.
And whispered and saved the creature more than the creator, creator who is blessed for even. Amen.
Okay, so you stop there. So it was saying that consensus. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not joking. Right? So it says, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship the creature more than the creator? The creature meaning man. Because here in America, I mean, like, where do I begin? We already know who runs America, realistically. I know some people say, well, we got rich black people. Look at Kanye. Kanye a mess. He rich. He's a billionaire. But he still serves under Esau. You get my point? Jay-Z. A lot of y'all love Jay-Z. He worked for a white man. Okay? He's not a boss like how y'all think he is. Nowadays, the only way a black man or a black woman could really profit off of life like that financially is you have to adhere to the European ideology. And I notice we have a lot of black millionaires, right? Black billionaires. Why isn't our communities fixed? Think about that. All these black millionaires, all these rappers, everybody, right? Think about it. If they all just said, you know what? How about we all just come together, get our money, start our own businesses, heal our communities. We got the money. Money can't be the issue. We got the money. So why are we still where we at? Why we still got San Bernardino's? Why we still got Chicago? Why we still got the Bronx? Why we still got certain parts of Victorville? I'm from the East Coast. There's I know a lot of people think that Connecticut is just a white man's land. No, trust me, it's rough over there too. Trust me. Why we still got was it Camden, New Jersey? Why we still got was it Duval, Florida? My point being is we still got the hood everywhere, right? So money can't be the only issue. It's deeper than that. It's the mentality. It's the mentality. Because we worship the creature more than the creator. And a lot of black people, I'll even say it, a lot of native indigenous people, because I see a lot of our native brothers and sisters who, I be seeing y'all on the internet, y'all be saying, F the colonizer and the conquistador and, Diablo Blanco and all that. I'm like, okay, Most High in Christ. And then y'all go right back to the same Europeanized mindset that was bestowed on our ancestors, and you adhere to it to a T. For those of y'all who don't know, in Latin America, it was a little different how they colonized. Here it was more like blacks versus whites, more segregation, right? Latin America wasn't like that. Like most Latinos, Latino is not a race, it's an ethnicity. And they have DNA. I mean, they got European DNA, African DNA, native DNA. They got DNA from all over the place. They're mixed. They're mixed people, right? That's why a lot of them, they don't want to identify with a race because a lot of them can't really identify with a race. So they identify with their ethnicity or their nationality, Brazilian, Venezuelan, Dominicans, so on and so forth. You get my point. But how did that come about? The mixing. It's this thing called the caste system or caste system that they bestowed in Latin America during slavery. And it was pretty much the idea of, which I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with, black is at the bottom, white is at the top. The whiter you are, the better you are. The blacker you are, the worse you are. So what would happen is, because a lot of people think that all natives are like super light skinned, like They're like this. Like, no, trust me. I seen brothers from Mexico as black as me. Some of them darker than me. All right. My point being is they wanted to be beautiful. They wanted to look pretty. All right. They wanted to look handsome. So interracial marriages were actually pushed even more. A lot of these Europeans, they would have black and indigenous slaves, and they would have sex with them. Not just the women, the men too. Right? And they would just mix and mix and mix and mix. And now you don't even know what you are now. Right? When we say like so-called Latinos or Israelites as well, we got to emphasize, this goes for black people too, because the same thing happened with us. There was white slave masters that was, doing what they was doing with our women as well. It's not always about color. It's who your forefathers are on your father's side of the family. Some of them are Edomites. This going to throw off some people. Some African Americans are Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's going like, who is it? Tia and Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
They got a white daddy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it? I'm trying to think of somebody else. What you got?
Was it Halle Berry?
Did she have a white father?
I think so, because she thinks she's white because she's dealing with white men instead of.
I don't know. That might be that was self-hatred. I don't know. One of them. She do? Okay. Who was the she played on Atlanta. Zazie Beetz. Zazie Beetz. You might have, she was on that. She was on The Harder They Fall, that movie on Netflix. I don't know if y'all seen that. If y'all Googled her, y'all know exactly. Huh?
You said on Baps, because it was Halle Berry and the bigger girl.
So Zazie Beetz, you seen Atlanta? Okay, if y'all Google her, y'all probably know who I'm talking about. Like y'all seen her, but she's not a sister.
What is her name again, sir?
Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz. She's not a sister. Her father is German, like white. Her mom black. It's somebody. Who else? It's somebody else. The new Batman movie. I forgot her name. She looked like a sister. I can't think of her name.
You talking about Catwoman?
Yeah, she plays Catwoman.
I forgot her name. And she take her wig off and she bald headed, right?
I think so. I forgot her name.
No.
If anybody knows her name, let me know. It's the new one with the Twilight dude.
Yeah, they got all the characters in it. They got Riddler, they got Penguin, they got everything.
Yep.
I know what you're talking about. I forgot her name.
She looks like a sister, but no, her dad's an Edomite. That's why we say it's not always about skin color. It's not always about that. But this is the ideologies, right? This is the ideologies that a lot of our brothers and sisters seek after, especially in Latin America and here as well. I'll be seeing it too. You think like the more white I look, the better I am. And then you wind up hating stuff.
They go for the exotic look.
Yeah, exotic. Now I want to make this very clear. Obviously the majority of our brothers and sisters were mixed. Let's just be real. A lot of us are. And I ain't trying to talk no smack to our lighter skinned brothers and sisters. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like, that is a Europeanized mindset that a lot of our people do adhere to, right? It's so deep in it. It's a mental thing because we worship the creature more than the creator. It's not just homosexuality. It's hating your brother, hating your sister, hating yourself. That in some parts of Jamaica and Trinidad, there were sisters that were bleaching their skin. Bleaching their skin.
Yeah.
And what, they show themselves?
Kind of. I don't know the process, but it burns, but it's to lighten them up. What you got?
Does it goes back to the Willie Lynch story?
Yeah. And that's a perfect example. Light skin versus dark skin. That's how they pit us against each other. That's why you see it all the time. What you got, sis?
Who was Willie Lynch? Because I was going to say Michael Jackson, the way he bleached his skin because he didn't want to be like his father. Because his father put so much pressure on him as a kid. He thought, okay, I'm going to grow up to not look like him. So he began to do the process of bleaching his skin to become lighter.
So actually with Michael Jackson, he actually did have a skin condition.
Skin condition?
He actually did have a legit skin condition. But he did adhere to that too. He straightened his hair and he got that nose job. He didn't have to get that nose job, right? So he want to look a little bit more white, right? But he did have a legit skin condition. The Willie Lynch concept was literally just that. It was ways to internalize some type of like a beef between slaves. Because here's the thing. Our ancestors, when we were brought over to the Americas, you gotta think, we were still trying to fight back. Like we were still getting married. There was brothers still trying to, get plans together to run away. We was running away with the Native Americans going into their tribe. That's how you have like the Seminole Indians and stuff like that, Choctaw. My point being is what Willie Lynch did. He was like, okay, they fighting back a little too much. Like, so exactly, you got to brainwash them, turn them against themselves. One of the concepts, like you brought up, was light skin versus dark skin, right? Oh, because slave masters was messing around with our women, and it wasn't just the women. A lot of them, because a lot of y'all brothers love white women. I'm just being real. Y'all love them. A lot of them was taking little boys at a young age, taking them, having sex with them, and having their children. So now we have a lot of so-called African Americans here in America who do have some traces of European DNA, right? On average. So what it started to happen was, y'all heard it before. You got the dark skin in the fields, you got light skin in the house. So now it was this concept of, oh, well, I'm in the house with Massa. I'm better than you. Right. But then on the flip side, you look more like us. We're like, oh, well, you're not one of us no more. You done sided with them. You can go on over there. Cause beef. Cause beef now. Then they would turn young against old. You got the young, strong brother. Then you got the older brother who actually know a little something now. Y'all got beef. Man against woman. I think we all seen that. That still goes on today, right? Child support, stuff like that. Men ain't this, women ain't that. They got this new movement now called passport bros. What it is it's sad, but brothers in America are so fed up with like the lifestyle of dating and stuff like that. They just like, F it. We about to go to like the Philippines or something, give me an Asian woman or something. They're just so fed up, right? And now the sisters are complaining about it, obviously, because now, well, they men are leaving them. That's what's happening. Man against woman, parent against child. Your child don't want to listen to you now. They think you gotta think. As a child, you look at your parents as as a form of guidance, as a form of protection. But during slavery, it's kind of hard to do that. Y'all heard the term breaking the buck before, right? Mm-hmm. So like, you saw what they would do to brothers if they even tried to drop an ounce of masculinity in there. So they removed him, and then the woman left to do all the rest of the work. Now they're going to go after her because the woman is the weaker vessel. So they're going to use her. They're going to manipulate her, right? And guess what? She's going to raise her daughter to be the same way. And now they're going to raise that son to be physically strong, but mentally weak and submissive. That's why you see some brothers today, I hate to say it, in domestic violence cases in relationships. You got a 6'5" brother built like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and then you got a sister that's like 4'11", 100 pounds one way, and she beating him. You like, how? But it's his mentality. He might be bigger. He could probably throw her, but he's so weak in the mind because maybe he didn't have a father around, or maybe his father was abusive or whatever. Might be dead. He was raised by a woman, strictly. Now, that's not always the case, but it can happen. I've seen it myself, right? So this is what happens. This is the ideology that's been bestowed upon us for generations. Like us here, physically, we're not in chains, right? You come in here, you start to see things differently. But a lot of our brothers and sisters out in the world, they might not be physically in chains. Mentally, though, they still there. Mentally, like a lot of our brothers and sisters are still slaves, right? And one of them, and I know people are like, well, this is a reach, is homosexuality. Trans age. For those of y'all, I only talked about it briefly. I'm in the class in a little bit. Trans age, right? What that is you can change your age whenever you want. Like you can identify as a 10-year-old girl. And a 10-year-old girl can identify as a 50-year-old man. You want to know why they do that? Why I think they do that? What you guys says?
I call them secret societies to molest these kids.
That's exactly what it is. Pedophilia. That's exactly what it is.
That's the word I was looking for. Pedophilia.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. They're trying to, like I said, mental gymnastics. They're trying to find a way to inch that letter P into the LGBTQ, right? It's already been there. It's always been there. But now they're trying to make it more socially accepted. Because now it's like, well, this is my rights. I'm not 30 years old. I'm 11. And I should be with this 11-year-old because I'm 11. That's what it's, and then they try to make it like, whoa, he said he identifies as 11. So, I mean, I guess we just got to let it happen. This is the reality. People think we're joking when we say this because now what's going to happen is if you let this stuff slide, in a very near future, a 30-year-old man is going to have the right to take your 11-year-old little girl or even a boy and be like, well, I want to marry them.
I'm doing it now.
And I'm gonna kill him.
And if you do, you're going to go to jail.
Because you're the perpetrator.
Not him. You're going to go to jail. What you got, sis?
So, okay, when they do that, and let's say they allow it, but then when it's done to one of them, even though they put it out there like that, and when you go to court and you go to jail, they want to knock it off the thing and say, oh, it's a mental illness. But it wasn't a mental illness when y'all was doing it, but now that us Negroes, the so-called Negroes is doing it, now you want to lock yourself for 30 and 50, 60 years. But when this white man or this Caucasian man or a different color man was doing it, it was okay. It was normal. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like they take things and they just manipulate it. And you it's not confusing. You have to just be strong-minded. It's just common sense. You know, but these kids, they will these kids in at a young age because they have a commercial where they have the little black boy. Why you use black boy and not a real white boy, in my opinion? You know, long story short, they got him dressing up like Princess as the Frog, and you got the white women coming out and their little fairy dresses, and they're just basically encouraging him to be a girl. See, my son know how to get his seeds in the world because we ain't even finna go there. You know, so you have to will him in. And I did it because, like I said, I learned by experience. And I just thank God that I had a mom that loved me through my experience. So it still becomes a challenge. Yes, it does, you know, and I get in there and I fast and I pray. But that shit, excuse me, it's wicked. You know what I'm saying? It's very wicked, and they starting them at 2. And like you said early on, let the kids be kids. You know what I'm saying? Because we were kids. We didn't have to go through as much as they're going through now. They put gayism on this world. Now they can't control it. You lost a lot of baby populations because the whole world think they're gay. And you're not gay. It's mental. It's all in the mental minds. You know, it's the control mechanism.
That's exactly what it is. No, Most High in Christ, and Tawada for sharing that. But that's exactly what it is. That's why I brought up earlier. I'm not in the class like in a little bit, but that's why I brought up earlier. Like, I mean, it's common sense. It's common sense, but common sense apparently ain't common. It takes a man and a woman to make a child. But now, like you said, now they teaching, oh, you can be with whoever you want. Okay, yeah, you can believe you can be a man and get pregnant. You can believe that all you want. You're never going to get pregnant. If you were born biologically a man, you know what's crazy? They have a different term now. So now they're making it to where, like us in here, right? We can't just call ourselves men or just males. We have to identify as a cisgender male, meaning that a cisgender male, which means that is a man who was born biologically a man. Like, we didn't need no extra parts, if you will. Right. We were already born like this. So now they're making it to where you can't even say you're a man. Same thing for women too. You can't even just say you're a woman. No, you're a cisgender woman. And I seen, I don't know have the video anymore, but it was a video I seen, and there was a woman who was arguing about this, and she had the right to, like, why do I gotta sit here and identify as something else to comfort this person? I was born a woman. I didn't need no surgery or to be groomed. I was already a woman. I can have kids. Right. That was her argument. I'm like, I mean, she got a good point. But now you're being taught that you can be whatever you want and be with whoever you want. And what that causes is, regardless of what you think, you're not procreating. A man and a man can't procreate. A woman and a woman can't procreate. You can't do it. They're like, oh, you can adopt. Okay, well, I mean, somebody else. We all got here because your mom and your dad got free. Okay, right. That's just whatever you want to think, whatever type of mental gymnastics you want to jump through. That's the truth. Okay. We're all here because your mom and your dad got free. And that's normal. But when you don't do that, your population is going to go down. That's why they force it so much on our communities. Like Esau, he'd been doing it. I brought it up earlier. In ancient Rome and Greece, that was the norm. Pedophilia was the norm. It was actually, matter of fact, I'm gonna read it real quick. They said that they actually preferred it to be that way over like a normal relationship. Let's see. Where is it? It is would only enter once they had under puberty. Let's see. So they call it, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, pederasty was a social custom in which an adult male would court a young Greek boy to become his model, guide, and initiator, and would become responsible for the evolution of his chosen young counterpart. The younger man, or eromenos, would only enter such a relationship once they had undergone puberty. But the thing is, boys can you can go through puberty at like 12. So that just throwing that in there, because there's some fake Israelites out there who like to push this agenda where they try to teach that if a woman is, if a little girl can have a period, then you can marry her. No, the hell you can't. I wish you tried some stuff like that. But anyway, Salakia. Let's see. And so quickly, puberty occurred somewhat later than today, usually starting around 14, like I just said, 14 for boys rather than 12. You're still a kid. You're a child. You're not a grown man. But this was the social norm. And let's see. There was one key part that I wanted to go over. It says that pederasty was viewed as the masculine analog to marriage, a rite of passage that Greek girls of the same age were subjected to as well. So it wasn't just boys, it was little girls too. They sought this. They sought after that type of stuff. They were doing it then, and they doing it now. They've been doing it. Esau been doing this, and he wants you to do it too. The difference is you guys chosen people. They can do whatever the hell they want. When we do it, we get cursed for it. We get cursed, like you brought up earlier, sis. Like they punish us. Like perfect example, weed, drugs, right? Brother, I'm gonna tell you right now, black people are horrible drug dealers. You suck. You suck. Okay, because you always get caught. Okay, y'all have no brotherhood. Okay, you be getting high off your own product. You suck. Guess what? Because you were never meant to be a drug dealer. The first drug dealers were the Caucasian men. Okay, like the Italian mafia, all them. That's what they do. Cocaine, all that. They were the ones who first did that. But because you want to worship the creature more than the creator, like we just read earlier, you follow that same lifestyle. Gang violence is European culture, because the mafia, they was doing it. Y'all all seen Scarface and stuff like that with little Tommy guns, and they was doing the first drive-bys. Now black people do it. Now Latinos do it. Mexicans do it, right? You killing your own people. You think they care when you killing your own people? No, they like, oh, there goes another one. They make fun of you. That's my whole point, right? But when we sell drugs, oh, well, you're getting locked up. You're getting locked up. You will never see your kids again. Your woman is going to leave you and end up with somebody else, and you're going to live a destructive lifestyle. And then guess what? Your kid's going to grow up without a dad. It's going to be horrible, right? But when white people do it, they get away with it. Who, I forgot the dude, they killed him. I don't remember his name. He was the dude who used to chill with like Donald Trump and them. He had a private island of like little girls he was messing around with. I forgot his name. Was it Epstein? I think it was Epstein or something. They had like a whole documentary on him on Netflix. So they do it. It's whatever. We do it. It's a horrible thing. You're getting locked up because guess what? You're God's chosen people, and it's disgusting. And God punished you because of it. God don't want you being a part of this community. God don't want you being a child molester or a drug dealer or a drug addict. He don't want you doing that stuff. That's why we get punished, and that's why we're in the condition that we are in today. And you gotta be a strong person to fight against that mentality, because if you give in, you're not just destroying yourself, you're destroying your kids, and your kids' kids, and your kids' kids' kids, and so on and so forth, because that mentality is gonna go down the line through generations and generations and generations. And guess what? You might not even have a next generation because you believe that you can be a man and you can get pregnant. And now you ain't never gonna have no kids. Your lineage just stopped. Done. There will never be no more yous, no little mini-me's running around. You're done. because you want it to be like the Europeans. So that's the whole point. What you got, sis?
It's just a little off topic.
No, go ahead, sis.
At what age for the ISUPK young kids do you guys consider them and like they be held accountable for what they're doing? Is it 13 or 16?
Held accountable.
Just like if you go out in the world and get in trouble, you know right from wrong.
Okay.
I
think I think I know what you're asking. Okay, so I can't give you like a finite age. I can't say like 15 or something like that. It really depends on the parent-child relationship, but like as a parent, like you know, your child is. I mean, okay, I'll put it like this: chastising your child is important. That's in the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it does get to a point like you're gonna stop tolerating certain stuff. Like a 5-year-old kid, I mean, 5-year-old kid is gonna do 5-year-old kid stuff. They're gonna mess up, right?
Mm-hmm.
A 5-year-old kid is different from like a 15-year-old. Now it's like, okay, you know better. You know better now. You kind of just go, by the age of 18, stuff like that. I wouldn't give you a definite age, but definitely like in the teenage years. It's going to be tough because, I mean, that's when your hormones start spiking and stuff. They're going to get more rebellious. But be on them. Because they're going to need it. We all...
Like, at what age do they get to go into, like... Do you guys do, like, camp activities? Like, go out and camping and, like, just all the brothers, get the younger kids and go out and do stuff? Or is it called, like, any type of camp? At what age do you consider that a kid could go into a camp?
Like, when we hold camp? Like, you're talking about like when we hold camp.
Yeah.
I would say I would have to give a cap, but I would say he at least has to be like, it would have to be approved by the parents, of course. Mm-hmm. At least 18.
Oh, yeah.
At least. At
least. Take them.
I would say at least 18. Because when we have camp, there's certain things that happen at camp. We want to make sure that the kids are safe and stuff like that. So I personally would say at least 18, but to get a more finite answer, I would say speak with Cap. I'll ask Cap about that. Because we don't want to take him in too young. You got to be vigilant on certain things and be disciplined on certain things. So we don't want to expose young kids to that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, Most High in Christ, the water, sis. So yeah, that's all I got. Anybody got any more questions? Anything? No questions? Okay. I don't think anybody online. Let's see, perfect class. What you got, sis?
I do. Why them breads right there? Is that real or fake?
Oh, it's real bread.
Oh, that's real bread.
Yeah,
why is that right there, though? Why do you have that right there?
Sabbath.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That wine. Yeah.
So you have that out there. I mean, you have it out every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Every Saturday. Yeah. You're not always able to see it on the screen.
Right. Because I don't be seeing that on the screen.
Yeah. I usually have the camera a little closer.
Oh, okay.
I want to kind of back it up a little bit. But yeah,
when I first came, you take the bread out. I'm like, what is he doing?
Oh yeah, it's for
I thought maybe you was picking off of it, eating it.
Nah.
The flesh and the blood.
Yeah, that's okay. So if there's no more questions, all right, the water for everybody that tuned in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. For the sake of time, I definitely went over, but it's 12 though, so I'll just end it with that. So we'll do the prayers. But for now, shalom.